Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Y'all, look what I got on. Like, I have a coat on in the South in the spring. And this is how it is here right now. Like, it's cold here. And I cannot believe it because one day it'd be hot, one day it'd be cold. In the morning it'd be cold. The next afternoon it'd be hot. I don't know what I should wear right now. But I don't play with the cold. That's why I got like 3 layers on right now. But I came on here because I was reading this book this morning. And I came on here to tell you that the time is now. Like, now is the time more than ever. It's no better time to start than right now. And that's whatever you feel like you have that desire, whatever you feel like you have that, it's like in the back of you, it's in your heart. Like, God puts stuff in your heart for you to do. And whatever that is, the time is now to start it. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter like if you've been doing it, if you failed at it, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. If you should get up and you try again, because if you go and look at all the great people, like let's talk about the guy who discussed, like he made KFC. He made the recipe for KFC. He became successful at like 70 something years old. He was like 70 something. And the thing about it is he had to fail so many times. He failed so many times during this process. And the failure is a part of the process. Hey, Grandma, how you doing? Happy Friday. The failure is a part of the process. So if you're watching this live, put a 1 in the comments and put #replay if you're watching a replay. And I just want to come on here because you don't have to wait for anything. The time is now. The failure is a part of the process. And I just remember like a point in my life where I didn't want to fail. So I was like, I'm so used to doing everything the right way and doing it this way. But when I was reading that book, it was talking about the things that you're good at. You could always be better. Like you could always be striving for more. You could always be learning something new about what you do good. So he was talking about schooling and stuff. Like some people don't like to go to school and it's college. Most people drop out in their first semester. Like I did. I stopped going to school in like my first semester because I started going to work and I started making money and I just got lost in money instead of chasing passion and dreams. Because that's really, once you start making money, you just be like, I don't need to go to school. So that's basically what I had discovered when I was like 19. I stopped going to school the first semester, but not knowing that the knowledge that I get from school, it's not even about like, it's not about going to school and it's about discipline. I think school is more about discipline for me now that I'm 27 years old. And education, you never stop. You can never learn everything. So I'm going to say an example for me. When I went to cosmetology school, I didn't go, if you know cosmetology school, you don't go to cosmetology school to learn how to do hair. You go to cosmetology school to learn about how to pass that test. Like, they don't teach you how to do hair. Like, the stuff I do, they didn't teach me how to braid hair. They didn't teach me how to do lock retwist. They didn't teach me how to do none of that stuff. But they taught me how to pass the test. So I had to go to school for that. But I did learn certain things like color theory. I learned about like the hair shaft and like conditioning your hair and caring for hair after you like color it and stuff like that. So it's certain things that I did learn that I can apply into my field, but I never would have learned it if I didn't go to school and I wasn't seeking that knowledge. So that's what it was about, seeking knowledge and always seeking it, like never stopping to seek the knowledge, because you're never going to be like, there's always going to be somebody out there that's working harder than you in your field. So the strive is to be excellent. And we're so crazy because we were talking about this in my team training about strive. Like, we should be excellent for God. We should be doing everything that we do should be in excellence. And to do that, you have to learn. You have to be seeking education. You have to always be learning and doing. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath, y'all. I'm walking and talking, but you have to always be learning. And it's so crazy because like at a point in my life, I literally I wasn't seeking to learn. I just thought, like, I was focused. That's when I was like, I told y'all, I'm sweating and everything. But I told y'all I was like in that depression and The reason why I was in depression because I wasn't growing. If you're not growing, then that means you're just dying. You're just existing. And that's why most people are not living life. They're just existing here. And you deserve to live life. That's why when I tell you that the time is now, the time is now to live. It's not, we're not just supposed to exist on this earth. God, this what got me, y'all. So when God tells us he wants us to have life and have more life abundantly, why am I not living in abundance? That's what I had to say to myself. And then, God, when you talk to God, he talks back to you. And he tells you he has to make us into something. So the knowledge and everything that we're learning and who we're becoming in the process of all the experiences that we're experiencing is becoming better so that we can get the things that God has for us. Because if you're not wise and you don't have knowledge, you're going to lose whatever God blesses you with. So he doesn't want to give it to you prematurely and give it to you and then you're going to mess it up. So basically summing it up, what I really caught from this is just education and learning. Like always learning. And the best, when I first started, like we're going to go back to cosmetology school. When I was in cosmetology school, how I learned how to do hair is YouTube. Like YouTube is free. We have phones that have all the information, all the knowledge that we need. Like I learned how to do hair from YouTube, and I can still remember like somebody would get their hair done when I first started and they would ask for a certain hairstyle that I never did before. So I would go on YouTube and search it up and be watching the videos, practicing on my mannequin before I do it on the person. So it's just so easy to access now. It's so easy to access that knowledge in whatever field you're in, whatever you're doing in life, whether you're a mechanic, whatever you do in life, if you go on YouTube and you just search something up, you can learn something different every day. And that's going to make you better because it was, I forgot what I was listening to, but it says God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So you don't have to have it all figured out for God. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to start having a progress. You have to start taking that first step. And that's why the time is now for you to take that step. And it don't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter, oh, I failed this many times. It doesn't matter about the past because once you start over and you get a vision and you get it in your mind, like I can remember the first time that I ever like envisioned something and it happened to me was when I was in high school. Like I was 14 years old. I went into high school. I literally went into high school and I had a goal to be the valedictorian. Now, this is not to boast or anything because it means something, but it means something because of what I did at that time. Like, I was 14 years old and I envisioned myself somewhere. I envisioned myself being the valedictorian. And then in ninth grade in science class, I remember that I had a C. I got a C in science class and I thought that I wouldn't be able to be the valedictorian because I got a C. But I never stopped trying. I still, like, I used to cry. I used to cry if I had bad grades. Like, I was that kid. And I could just imagine, like, if I just gave up when I got that C, if I would have just gave up, then I would have never even, my vision would have been gone because I gave up. But I just kept going. And it's like, I want that childlike faith, that childlike, like that belief in myself. I want that childlike belief back in myself. And it's never, even me being 27, like it's never going to be too late for me to start over. If I want to start over and do everything differently now, I can do that. But I have to make the decision. And it all is going to start with a decision that you make for yourself. Like, you have to make that decision because God is great. But he's not a magician. He's not good. You don't just call on him when you need him. You don't just get to tell him what to do. You don't get to tell, like, like, when I was in depression, like, I was waiting for somebody to come save me. I really was. Like, I wanted somebody to come and save me and tell me all the right things and just deliver me from depression. But the whole time, God was telling me, I am the only one that can take you out of this, but you have to make a decision that you even want it. So I'm reading John. In John, there was this lake or this little pool, and the people who needed healed was to be surrounded in this pool, and they would just be sitting there waiting for the water to start coming out for them to run to the water and be healed. And this guy, he was sitting there for 38 years. 38 years he could not walk. He was paralyzed. And Jesus walks up to this man and he asks him, why are you just sitting here? Basically, like, why are you just sitting here? And he's saying by the time he gets to the pool, everybody runs ahead of him and he's not able to get there and get healed. And he's been sitting there for 38 years. Oh, this guy right here, because I wasn't even about to come on and say this. Hallelujah. So Jesus asked him, do you want to be healed? And that's what you got to ask yourself, because that's what I had to ask myself. Do you want to be healed? Because all Jesus had to do was tell him to pick up his mat and walk. Hallelujah. He was sitting there for 38 years, and all he had to do was pick up his mat and walk. And the only reason why he was able to do that is because he believed in what Jesus said. His faith made him walk again. And just like when we talk about the woman with the issue of blood, her faith made her whole. Hey, Chicago, how you doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. And that's what I had to believe that for myself. My faith is going to heal me, because I tried this healing journey without God. And I was messed up, and I didn't even know I was like, dang, I'm still getting triggered. Like, I'm not having true healing because I'm trying to do it by myself. I allowed God to come in and have his way, and he did it. And that's what I got to have faith. We have to have faith in God to do these things. But we have to take that first step. Making the decision to start your healing, making the decision, whatever you're asking God for, you have to make a decision too. You have to meet him halfway, because he's not going to just do everything for you. And he's not a magician, like I said. You can't just call on him when you need him, but you're not showing up for yourself. You have to show up for yourself too. And that's exactly what I learned. And showing up for yourself, learning, growing, developing, getting an education, that's something important. And I just wanted to come on here and share that with y'all, because it blessed me, and I wanted to just bless other people and just hear what I had to say. Honestly, when I was in college, I really did not believe that I would be going back to school. I thought it was just over with, you know. And the thing about it is, whether you start school today, whatever you start right now, in 4 years, like, let's say you're going to get your bachelor's degree. Look, my nose running. Let's say you're going to hold on, wait, y'all. Like I said, y'all, it's cold out here. It's cold. But let's say you're going to get your bachelor's degree. It takes 4 years to get a bachelor's degree. Whether you go to school or not, those 4 years is going to pass. So if you keep doing what you're doing right now, you're going to be in the same spot in those 4 years. But if you go to school, or if you start developing yourself, if you start doing something differently, you're going to be in a better spot. So it's all about, like, the actions that you do today. You're going to create who you are tomorrow. It's going to create who you are next year. So you have to be, even if it's just 1%, y'all. 1%, like, what my goal is, I want to learn, every week I want to learn a different word, because I have to expand my vocabulary. So that's what I made a goal for myself. Learn a different word every week, understand the word, and know the definition and stuff. So I want to just be gaining more knowledge and more, like, I'm seeking it. And that's what you have to do too. You have to seek the knowledge, and you will acquire it, and when you get it, you apply it. Applied knowledge is power. So I hope this helps somebody. Whew. Get up and walk. If you were watching this right now, get some exercise in, get some steps in, get your heart racing. And if you don't move your body, you're going to lose your body, y'all. But I hope everybody has a great, great weekend. I love you guys, and thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all put #replay if you're watching a replay too. And then have a good weekend.
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different.